Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and happy St. Patrick's Day as well. I'm ItsKim. Welcome to ItsKim Live. So I'm just making sure all the music is off because I've got sound coming at me from many different directions and it's a lot. Thank you guys so much for being here today. If you've never seen this show before, here is the way that it normally works. First thing we're going to get into today in today's live stream is go through the main topic. That's what's in the thumbnail, it's in the title, all that stuff, probably why you clicked on this video in the first place. If you're watching on the replay, there's going to be timestamps available, so you can jump around to wherever you want. You can skip over me talking and go right to the topic if that's what you want to do. After we do our main topic, we have our halftime where I communicate with my beautiful, beautiful community of space angels who are all coming in. Thank you guys so much for being here. Much love to all of you. And then we have a fun section towards the end called What the What, where I look at something from around the internet that is interesting, fun, crazy, palate cleanser, because sometimes the world is just depressing and we need other things to look at. And that is put together by my partner in crime, my co-pilot, producer sister.
Hello.
Who is here. You can't see her, but she's here. Yeah, I think that about covers it. Do also want to say thank you so much to General Scott for the PayPal that you sent me. That's incredibly generous of you. And I'm also just seeing here that Aria has been a member for 27 months. Thank you so much for your support. Saying happy Monday. Glad I can catch a live. I'm glad you could too. That's awesome. That's awesome. We've got stuff to go over today. I have a rant. I have a rant written, everybody. I do. Oh my goodness. Can you guys put a 1 in the chat if you have seen any of the online discourse regarding that Glamour article? That's all I'm going to call it, because I feel like this has kind of been one of these things that's been discussed over the last little bit. And I mean, I got to weigh in. Let's be real. Like, I'm going to talk about it. But yeah. Thank you very much, Arya, for the 5 gifted memberships. That's incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. And Lee's been a member for 8 months. Thank you so much, saying happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Okay, we've got a couple ones. Emily said, I don't think so. Oh, this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun either way. You know, there's stuff, there are things to be talked about. Producer sister, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
You doing okay?
Plugging along.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's been a lot. So thank you guys so much for being here. Please smash that like on your way in. Please make sure you've hit that subscribe button. Any of that type of stuff you do, any chats you leave, that all helps with engagement, which helps us a lot with the channel. So I really, really do appreciate it. Whatever you can do. And yes, Kyle, there's a Kim rant. Kim rant. And thank you, General Scott, for another 5 gifted memberships. So that brings us to 10. Oh my gosh, we're like 4 minutes in, you guys. Thank you. Thank you for spoiling me. I appreciate that. And another one. Another one. Thank you. We're back to Team Odd. Thank you, General Scott. Oh, you guys are funny. Yeah, Katie, get the popcorn. Get the popcorn. Before we get into that, though, we do need to do our disclaimers. We also have another story I wanted to bring to you guys' attention, just as people get in the building, because I know I'm starting a little bit early than I normally do, but I was doing well for timing today. And unfortunately, I think I can speak for the both of us when I say that producer sister and I had an unexpected weekend, and we're not able to get a lot of things we wanted to get done. Everyone's fine.
Plans out the window.
We lost a part of our fence.
Yep.
Blew off in a windstorm. There were police. Everyone's fine.
We're fine.
Nobody got arrested.
We're not in trouble.
We're not in trouble. It just was like, anytime I tried to sit down and do anything, it was like,
nope.
Forces greater than myself took over, and it was like, oh, guess it's gonna take me a few more minutes before I can vacuum. So, like, literally, it's that type of a thing. And I'm sure those of you guys that work a lot and you're really busy in your lives, you have those times where it's like, this is the time I needed to do human things, and we're not able to. So everybody's good. Everything's good. Exactly, Katie. Trauma that just compounded. Alrighty, so let's do this. Yeah, exposed. Are creators exposed? Is Kim Kardashian exposed? Is Blake Lively exposed? Is Justin Baldoni exposed? It's a great question. This stream will include speculation and opinion and should not be taken as fact. Always do your own research, and links to the sources are in the description. I also have some bonus links in the source document today, because I'm gonna make a few little claims in my rant, and I want you guys to know where I got that information, so you know that I'm just not pulling it out of nowhere, that I did look into this, and I'm basing my opinion off of some of that information that I found. So It's, just to keep it fair, just to keep it fair. And hi, YouTube even reviewer. We have tried to ensure that this video is appropriate according to your community guidelines because we care about this platform and we would very much like to stay on it. And viewers, please do not send hate to anyone, famous or not. And that also, I want to stress, goes towards the person who wrote this article we're going to be talking about today. I have read that people have said some pretty nasty things to her, and I don't support that. You're allowed to have an opinion. You're allowed to complain, but don't be mean. Don't go after them. And I don't support that. So, yeah. And also, all individuals mentioned here are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law when it comes to lawsuits and things of that nature. And thank you so much, Doro, for the gifted membership. It's very kind of you. That takes us up to 12. I so appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Awesome, awesome. Oh, and hi. I just saw. So Linda's here, Katie's here, and Kyle's here. Thank you guys. It's good to see you all. The whole gang is here. Yay. Okay, let's do this. One story I did want to just mention quickly because I thought this was important. Off and on, over like pretty much the entire time I've done my show, we've talked a bit about Kanye West or Ye, whatever he's calling himself now. I feel like we're kind of getting into Diddy territory with him sometimes. And I have been outspoken that I know a lot of people do not like Kim Kardashian, and that's fair. But I also feel like a lot of what's happened in her marriage with Kanye West and the subsequent divorce and the issues with the children is concerning. And I think if we want to be people that support women and support victims and recognize when relationships are abusive, we can't just ignore what's happening just because we don't like Kim Kardashian. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because I found this to be very disturbing. So Kanye West has been back on X or Twitter as of late and has been having many a opinionated rant that I think on most social media platforms he would have been deplatformed immediately. Saying many things that I can't repeat on this platform because of how offensive it is. But Kanye has declared that men will make the final decision after he released a song with his daughter, North, against Kim Kardashian's wishes. It's worse. It's worse than that. So Kanye West has traded his, that word that I don't know if I can say that or not, for misogyny after vowing to go to war with ex Kim Kardashian over a song featuring their eldest daughter, Northwest. After dropping Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunrise without the Kardashian star's approval, the rapper wrote via X on early Monday, "The man makes the final decision." Kanye also seemingly referenced his heated text with Kardashian, adding in a separate post, "All kings love war." Yeah, this is going well. So one day prior, the Grammy winner, 47, shared screenshots from a conversation with the reality star, Kim, who was apparently unhappy about his decision to feature their 11-year-old daughter on a track with Sean Diddy Combs, right? Because let's just be real for a minute. You can have whatever opinion about Kim Kardashian you want. I think it's fair that the parent of an 11-year-old would not want her daughter to be on a song with Diddy while he is currently in jail and on trial for all of the things.
Okay, and just to counter, what would people be saying if she wasn't? I feel like this is a situation where she's screwed no matter what.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like this is one of these situations we have to be able to go, like, Kim Kardashian sucks. The Kardashians suck. Kourtney Kardashian eating a Kit Kat has taken away precious moments of my life I will never get back. But that doesn't change the fact that this is really, really messed up. This is really messed up. So Kardashian reportedly tried to block the song's release before Kanye, who now goes by Ye, and shared in a since deleted X post. In the exchange, the rapper asked for Kim Kardashian to amend her trademark for their daughter's name so that he could drop his tune without legal repercussions. So in the text, it said, she said, I asked you at the time if I can trademark her name. You said yes, Kim Kardashian purportedly replied. When she's 18, it goes to her. So stop. She continued, I sent the paperwork over so she wouldn't be in the Diddy song to protect her. One person has to trademark. So the Skims co-founder claimed they had agreed to trademark all their kids' name when they were born so that no one would take them. However, Kanye was not satisfied with her reasoning. Now, something I do just want to say with that right off the bat is I understand the why Kim would think that this is a good idea and why it's important, because I see it from both sides. The first is that if for whatever reason Northwest decides that she wants to enter the public sphere, it's important for her to have her name and not have somebody else taking it. And then the exact opposite. If North grows up and decides she wants nothing to do with the media whatsoever, no one should be able to take her name and her notoriety and make money off of that without her consent. And when she was born, she has no power to be able to protect herself from that as an infant, right? That then becomes the parent's responsibility. It sounds like Kim and Kanye were in agreement of this. One person has to hold the trademark. She chose to hold the trademark. Therefore, Kim holds the power here. And what Kanye has done, based on what I'm reading, and in my opinion, I'm not a legal expert, but this is illegal, what he's done. And he's also now put her on a song with Diddy, which is incredibly problematic right now and very dangerous. And I feel like this is a moment where, guys, it does happen. I feel like most of us would probably agree with Kim Kardashian. The year of our Lord 2025 is getting weird, guys. I don't even know. I can't. So just so you guys understand with the trademark thing, I don't think she necessarily just did the trademark thing so that she could essentially make her child into a business. I think there's a lot of reasons why a parent would choose to do that has the amount of money and notoriety that the Kardashians do. So
it's both protecting her if she doesn't, and enabling her, like, not enabling, that's the wrong word, but giving her the power of her own name if she chooses. Either way, she's covered, and no one else can use her name in a way they don't want it.
Yeah. So Kanye wasn't satisfied with her reasoning. Amend it or I'm going to war, he responded, and neither of us will recover from the public fallout. So at this point I go, oh, and also he said, you're going to have to me, he sensationally added. So again, I have to take this off screen for a minute because of some of the language that's here. The insanity of literally going, my daughter has to be on a song with P. Diddy because I said so, and I'm going to use her trademark even though I'm legally not allowed to, and if her mom says no, I'm going to engage in mutually assured destruction to get my way. Does this sound like the logic of a sane person that's putting their child first? I can't with people that are defending Diddy right now. I really can't. That are defending Kanye, Diddy, all this. Like, it's just like, what are you doing? TMZ later reported that the Kardashian had sent the Heartless singer a cease and desist letter after learning he'd planned to release the song at his Sunday service. Although he allegedly skipped an emergency hearing with a mediator and a judge. So he's like, I'm not doing the court thing. That looks good for you. He had promised not to drop the song, according to the outlet. But a source told Page Six that Kardashian does not want North involved in Kanye's controversial decisions. Fair. Mm-hmm. Especially revolving around Combs, who is behind bars on charges of bad things. And an insider said the Hulu's personality's priority is the well-being and safety of her children. However, amid the trademark dilemma, Ye has also accused his ex-wife of keeping their 4 kids, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, away from him. Yes, I have beef with people who froze my account, took my kids away, and tried to put me in jail, and it's stuck. And it's stuck? What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, the beef stuck? It froze to the wall? Okay. Kanye said he doesn't want to just see his kids, but actually wants to raise them and make decisions about their schooling and day-to-day choices. Well, in order for you to be able to do that, you probably shouldn't be in Japan. Mm-hmm. Which you did for a while. And also, if you want to be involved in raising the kids and making decisions, going to court when there is an emergency hearing with a mediator and a judge is probably step one.
A little bit.
I'm done. I'm sorry. I can't. And then said, all these rights have been taken from me by the Kardashian mob, Hulu, and Disney, and the bigger agenda to use the selectively bred black children to be platforms to influence black people.
What?
Or was it just that you literally put your daughter on a song with a guy who's currently in jail and under federal investigation by the Southern District of New York, and you did so violating the trademark that the mother owns and then chose to skip out on an emergency mediation meeting with a judge? I'm sorry. I know sometimes things are weird, and I'm not somebody that just dismisses people that have conspiracy theories, but sometimes you also just have to look at what is the most logical explanation. And I think we know what that is.
Consequences of your actions. Yeah.
Kanye likened his current custody agreement to having visitation in jail and ended the tirade with yet another disgusting remark. And he and Kardashian were married from 2014 to 2022. Yeah. So that happened. And I want to say, I think this is really important because I can see this becoming a much larger custody battle at this time. I think Kim has every right to be pursuing full custody of her children. And the sad thing is, one thing I will say that I have read and heard Kim talk about is how important her relationship with her father was in her life. I think you can say a lot of things about the Kardashians, but I think it's very clear that all of the children of Robert Kardashian loved him and they miss him dearly. And she wants her kids to have a good relationship with their father. But I think it's gotten to a point now, I don't blame her if the safest thing for them is to be away from him entirely. And I want to make sure that we're going to talk a bit today going into the next story about misogyny. And the thing is, I know there's a lot of people that don't like Kim Kardashian for a multitude of reasons. And it's easy to hate on her because of all the stupid things that have happened, right? But this is where I think we need to be able to say, she's right here. And I don't think that we should be, holding things like slut shaming as a reason as to why she shouldn't be able to protect her children from stuff like this. So there's my soapbox on that. I just want to put that out there. My love to Kim K on that part, because this must be an absolute nightmare to deal with. And if you guys want me to, let me know. I can keep my eye on this and give you guys updates, because I'm sure that if this does become a bigger story, it's going to be everywhere. Her pursuing full custody potentially, like, oh my gosh. Nightmare. But you got to do what you got to do for your kids, right? And at the end of the day, we all know some very strong moms, right? And we do what we got to do to protect our kids. Alrighty. So that's what's up with Kim K. Thank you to everybody who has come in. It is good to see you all. I'm going to ask you guys again to please make sure you have hit the like on this stream. It helps out so much with the algorithm. And also make sure you subscribed. Means you can participate in the chat. We're a nice group of people. And we'd love to see you guys, come on in and talk and stuff. And everybody be nice. That's all. But I think we can hit 100 likes. I think we can. I think we have enough people. That's just me. But alrighty. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're going to get into Blake Lively stuff. Alrighty. For those of you that have followed me previously, you may know that I have a thing that I do when I get emotional about stuff and I get in my fifis, and I want to make sure that I say what I mean to say, so I write a script. And it's a Kim rant script day. It absolutely is. So I'm getting that all set up because I want to make sure that I say things the way that I want to say them and address this the way that I want to. Alrighty. So over the weekend, there was a story that kind of blew up when it came to the It Ends With Us drama, except it's not really the It Ends With Us drama. It is an article that came out in Glamour magazine online, um, written by this woman, Stephanie McNeil, and it it ticked off a lot of people. So it's called Inside the Blake Lively Hate Campaign Fueled by Mommy Sleuths. The death of Me Too and embrace of patriarchal ideas isn't coming from politics, it's coming from women online. Da da da. Dun 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 dun. Now, I want to make something very clear before we start. I do have a pretty diverse audience for the most part, but over 50% of the people who watch me are registered on their YouTube accounts as female. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have men watching, and I know we got lots of guys in this chat, right? Like, we got a lot of men here too. But essentially, what this article is going into is how women are the biggest haters of Blake Lively and, you know, holding up the patriarchy and blah, blah, and destroying the Me Too movement and blah, 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 blah. And exactly, Emily does YouTube. It's like the Amber Heard crap all over again. So I want to give kind of my thoughts on this, and I hope that that's okay. Because oh, okay. So I don't want to talk much about the author of this article. I'm going to try to set the scene here. There's a reason I said at the beginning of this show that if you got an issue with the author of this article, I don't want you to go and harass her. It's not cool. You're allowed to have an opinion, but let's be nice, because I have seen that there have been some people who have said some pretty nasty things to her, and I know how this can go, so let's just not be that, okay? But in my opinion, the author of this article has now inserted herself into this story. And in my opinion, she also kind of inserted herself here without maybe fully understanding the context of where what I'm going to say, the anti-Blake side is coming from. So, for example, one part in this article, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, one part in this article, she references the term profound mental health issues. And it kind of insinuates that this was a term that the Blake Lively haters created, except it wasn't. Profound mental health issues was a term that her own attorney used in court at the beginning of this month, which is why it got repeated, because it was what her attorney said about her. So the article goes in to discredit the public, gaslight us, and those who have followed the case. And then she went and doubled down on Instagram and basically said that content creators can't be trusted because we get paid based on engagement, and she's salaried, so it's different. And I want to address that right there, the money thing, right? Because I feel like anytime legacy media has a problem with new media, they always attack the money. And it's always the audacity of how could an independent creator make money off of this? We're the media. We're the ones who are supposed to be making the money. Like, I'm sorry, you don't own commentary. You don't. You don't own everyone. You don't get to control that. You get to control your own thing, right? Glamour magazine, you get to control what you pay your employees and the way that that works. You don't get to then dictate other people or shame other people for the way that they make a living. It's absolutely ridiculous. And God forbid people actually make a living for themselves and survive in a capitalist society. You want to go off about the patriarchy and everything else, and yet you want to shame women for being independent creators and making money? Make that make sense, okay? And please forgive me also as I weigh in on this, because I am a small fish in a huge ocean of internet creators. But through channels I'm affiliated with, I've seen a lot. And the reality is, if you don't work hard and you don't constantly evolve and you don't keep your stage presence, you cannot survive doing this job. You can't. You can't. And this is I want to be really clear here, because I feel like this is kind of like, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying as I say this, because I'm not saying it to be mean. Content creation is not an easy job, and it's not one that everybody can do. No one is forcing anyone to stay here and watch a creator. You have to have something to offer in order for people to stay. And to be able to be a content creator, you also have to be more than someone who talks in front of a microphone. You have to be a writer. You have to be a director. You have to be a producer. You have to be your own tech team. You have to be a camera operator. You have to be a sound engineer. You have to be a lighting person. You have to makeup artist, wardrobe, set design, and if any of it breaks, that is on you and you alone. It's a lot of hats to wear. It really is. And I have had people through my own journey of becoming a content creator that have basically said, like, oh, well, why does she get it? Because she's really not that good. She looks so nervous when she's on screen. Like, why would anybody watch her? Why would anyone take a chance on her? Why would anybody do this? I am so upset. Why isn't it me? Literally. I've had people make videos like, why wasn't it me? And I'm like, a lot of that boils down to, you are working all the time. All the time. I'm not kidding with you when I say that I lay in bed at midnight looking at court documents on my phone, trying to stay up to date. This takes so much commitment. And I do not appreciate a journalist who can write an article, and she's saying quite bluntly, it doesn't matter if 10 people read my article or 1,000 people read my article, I'm going to make the same amount of money because I'm salaried. First of all, that is absolute BS, because if nobody was reading your articles, why would you have a job? Like, why? And if you feel like you should be paid more if your articles are seen by more people because you're getting more ad revenue, right? Because that's the way that it works. That's between you and your boss and fighting for what you deserve to be paid. Don't take that out on me. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. Is that producer's sister? Mm-hmm. The idea of saying that it doesn't matter how many people read my stuff, I get paid the same thing, that makes no sense.
No, because if no one is reading your stuff, even if you're salary, you won't have a job for very long.
Right? It's like saying, well, I'm salaried at the store I work at, so it doesn't matter how many people come in and buy things from the store. I can serve no one for like 3 weeks on end, and I still have my job, my salary. You won't for long.
Because the store won't exist to operate.
It's just business. Business be businessing, right? So basically what you're saying then at the end of the day is that we should be believing media agencies because they have larger companies above them, right? Because that's the difference, right? Is there's a media mass company above that's all like, you know, controlling this and supposed to be having all the fact checking in there and blah, 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 blah. But the reality is, I did a quick Google search on the parent company of Glamour magazine, and did I see some things that I found to be concerning, and those are in my source doc. And I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of them because it's not what's important right now. But I saw lots of stuff about racism. I saw lots of stuff about employees and unionizing and not being paid fairly and all that type of stuff. We all know the way mass media works. There are no innocent parties here. But the stance that because you work for a company that is a mass media company, and therefore you should be listened to more than somebody else, it reeks of elitism and manipulation, in my opinion, which is exactly why there's been so many people who have basically turned their backs on legacy media and have gone to new media because they're tired of being lied to. They're tired of being told things from a specific political slant that benefits the parent company. And they appreciate transparency, like what I do, in the sense of saying at the beginning of all of my shows, this is my opinion. This should not be taken as fact. Do your own research. And the links of where I found my information are available to you to look at yourself. Because I recognize that I'm not an expert, I'm a commentator, right? And honestly, this type of a mentality coming from a journalist is a shame, because all it does is show people that have turned their backs on legacy media that they're right to do so. And I don't think it has to be that way. But that's just my opinion. That's Now, as far as the article goes, and we are going to read a few pieces of it. Let me go back over here. I do believe that this article is rage bait journalism, meaning that it's written from the perspective that we're trying to make people angry, right? It has all the greatest hits, in my opinion, right? Misogynistic claims, buzzwords, politics. My personal favorite being the inevitable reference to Depp v. Heard, because apparently now any case to do with a man and a woman suing each other cannot exist without comparison. And it always seems to, that comparison also always seems to ignore the fact that Ms. Heard perjured herself multiple times, her arrest for domestic violence, and that the jury sided with Depp after weeks of trial proceeding. But yeah, that's there. And like I said, I'm not reading the whole thing because, frankly put, there's nothing really new in this article that hasn't already been discussed, right? We've got the author criticizing Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, House and Habit, okay. But oddly enough, the author completely ignores the presence of left-leaning creators. And the analysis of court documents and the inconsistency on Lively's side of the case. I also think in an article that's supposed to be about, you know, patriarchy, which, you know, would then it would suggest that we would be talking about the dynamics of women here. So if we're going to talk about the dynamics of women, the media, and the Blake Lively situation, I find it very interesting that Stephanie Jones, Leslie Sloan, Jennifer Abel, and Melissa Nathan aren't really here in this article, because that would be a massive part of this piece, in my opinion. But I'm not a journalist, so I guess that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So, first part I want to read with you guys. It would be easy to dismiss the ever-growing hate campaign against Lively as a pet obsession of pop culture aficionados. Hello. I bow. Maybe a little weird, but ultimately just a harmless piece of celebrity gossip. But we do not live in a vacuum. Now, as far as this statement, I agree. I think pop culture is a mirror to our society. This has been one of my arguments when I hear people say that people that care about pop culture are stupid. I disagree. I think it exposes where we deem things to be acceptable and unacceptable as a culture, where we're divided. And I think in some of these situations, people look at stories like this as a point where they can, or a place that they can try to force their point of view. And I view it as an opportunity to come to the table and understand why, culturally and morally, we have different views. Why would someone feel so pro or anti one thing or another, right? And I do feel that it's an invitation to come to a place of compromise and tolerance. And those are always really fun words that I feel like we've kind of forgotten in this day and age. But we know at the end of the day, that's not what sells magazines, right? Which is why when it comes to content creators like me, we would not survive in print media. Because my own decision making, what wins is what has the most content, what sparks the most interest. Are there different points of view, right? I don't need to have just a couple lines of an article to get people in. I have to be able to talk about something for like an hour, right? So there's got to be more to it. And on a personal level, can I create an environment where people from different walks of life, different politics, everything else, can come together and truly see each other? Can we agree to disagree, but respect that people are going to live differently than how we do? But most importantly, one of my goals for this channel has been to tear the roof off of where monsters thrive due to preconceived notions. Because our silence when it comes to complicated or controversial social issues only benefits one group of people. And that's the people that don't want us talking about it. For example, some of you may not know, but I've been very open in the past that I believe that children should be educated at age appropriate levels about their bodies and SA. And that's because the only people who benefit from naive children are people who seek to exploit them. And if we believe that abuse can only come from men, then people like Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrandt, who I've covered at length on this channel, they walk free. While they're victims of all ages, genders, social status, they all suffer. And a lot of the time, they've suffered for decades in complete silence because no one will believe them. And for the record, that case was not one that made me a lot of money. But I didn't care because I thought it was important. And I feel the same way right now about Lively and Baldoni. It's important. And whether I have 90 people here or 900 people here, I'm going to focus on what I think is important. And by extension, I know that my audience shares a lot of the values that I have, and they will agree with me on some of these things. And I want to have those discussions, right? So I hope that makes sense. Instead, we live in a world where women's reproductive and civil rights are under A, by far-right misogynists who love to see our privileges dismantled, where a convicted SAer is the president and multiple members of his cabinet have also faced allegations of misconduct. Okay, so here's the rage bait, right? Because you know there's going to be a lot of people that take an issue with this statement. Now I can only speak for myself. And I hope that you guys can, give me some space to explain what I'd like to explain right now. And I understand if you don't agree with me, and that's fine. I think, as I said, I want this to be a place where we can agree to disagree, but we can at least hear each other out and hopefully try to find our own common ground and places where we can understand. I consider myself to be a center-left leaning feminist Canadian. And I am nowhere near the only left-leaning content creator who is talking about this. And I believe in women's rights. I believe in LGBTIA plus rights. Did I say Q? Anyway, all of them. I believe in all the rights. And politically, I come from a culture where we have more than a two-party system. And from that mentality, I believe it is possible for people to have varied views, meaning that people don't have to be on one side or the other, and that there's only acceptable thought processes for each side. So if you believe in the politics of a certain politician, you must then align socially with every single thing they have to say. That has never, ever worked in the country that I live in. That's never been the culture. I've said it a million times. I am centrist left-leaning, but I have voted for, I think, 4 out of the 5 major parties in my country throughout my life. It depends on the need. It depends on the jurisdiction. It depends, like, the needs of the area. It depends on the prior performance of the politicians in the area that have represented the area. Have they done a good job? Are they good? Like, you know what I mean? It's so much more complicated than that for me. And I really do feel like sometimes having this, like, one side or the other, all it does is create division. Because it's like picking a sports team. You know? Like, you're all going to play dodgeball and you got to pick one side of the gym or the other. That's not, it's too simplified. It's too simplified and it doesn't work. Okay. So, as a Canadian, and again, I ask you all to hold space for me here. May I just say, if your issue here is with a specific political administration, why is the focus not on that? Because as someone that lives in a country that has been threatened repeatedly over the last number of weeks, you can save your rage bait. Because in essence, in this article, Stephanie, what you're doing is exactly what you are criticizing other creators of doing. You are giving commentary on a popular pop culture topic that your editors know people will click on because it is popular, and then you're virtue signaling through your reporting. Blake Lively did not sue Justin Baldoni because of her politics. And Justin Baldoni did not stick up for himself because of his political alignment. They have a dispute. This is a legal case. And talking about a legal case does not dictate my or any other creator's political alignment. And the fact that I feel like I have to explain that statement and say that is really sad. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm saying, if you get what I'm saying, okay? And if you got questions as to why a Canadian is upset right now with what's going on, again, I have an article in the description you can click on that goes into details as to why my country's mad, okay? And I just want to be fair here, okay? I'm sorry, like, highly offensive. Highly offensive. This is the same world where a woman, even a powerful actress, faces the complete destruction of her reputation by online mommy sleuths for daring to accuse a man of sexual harassment. Now, I want to say too, the term mommy sleuth, it's been my understanding, I think Candace Owens said it at one point, and then this has kind of been used as like an insult to people moving forward. I don't like this term in the first place. Because again, if we're talking about misogyny and we're talking about devaluing women because they're women, using a term like mommy sleuth, in essence, is misogynistic. So, that's a choice. Sorry. But the problem is, yes, in the same world as a powerful actress, that's exactly why we have an issue here. Because a powerful person, I'm not going to say woman or actress or whatever, powerful person asserted their influence and essentially blackmailed someone who did not have as much power as she did. And I think that that's clear from the Khaleesi text, right? You know, I have my dragons, sometimes like for the better or the worse, but most of the time the better. That's not scary at all, right? Talking to someone who's famous and saying, you know, I have all these powerful people who are going to back me up. It's a threat. It's a sign. You do what I tell you, or the power of elites will come down on you. She wielded that power, not only of her own name, but others, quite possibly without even their knowledge, in order to intimidate another person of a lower class. And that is a problem. Now, that problem can coexist with sexual harassment. Okay? However, when the evidence on that is shaky, and I'm seeing concrete evidence on Justin's side that certain things went down, which side should I be taking? Or is it wise to sit back and to let evidence come in? And I've said that a million times. I am waiting for the Blake Lively concrete evidence. I am. I've been waiting. I've been waiting since he filed his lawsuit. And I saw that texts that were in her lawsuit, that there were things omitted, that there was context omitted. So all of a sudden, the stuff that she said, here's my concrete evidence, didn't feel so concrete anymore. Because it was deceptive, at minimum. Right? That's an issue. So, it's not a good look when the previous evidence that you have submitted as well, Ms. Lively, has been removed from your new amended complaint. I don't understand where I'm supposed to be sitting here. So I'm just supposed to believe Blake after she's lied to me when I am seeing things on Justin's side that make sense and seem to have a good amount of facts to back them up. Okay. And of course, Lively isn't the only person who this harms. Once you dehumanize one woman, you can dehumanize them all. And that impact is far greater than any celebrity legal battle. And to that I say, yeah, you're right. Lively isn't the only person that this harms. It hurts survivors like me, because I have had to file a harassment complaint. a sexual harassment complaint. I was a minor at my first job where I was aide, and I was terrified. And when I filed my report, I did so in the spirit of having a shield. I wanted to have a paper trail. I wanted to have evidence that if the issue persisted, I had something in my corner. Because I was young and I didn't feel very protected. I knew I had to protect myself. The issue I have a bit with Blake's lawsuit and the article with the New York Times, specifically when you bring that article into frame here, is I feel like she was doing more than protecting herself. She wanted to publicly humiliate and destroy Baldoni. And you can't do that to someone if you don't have the evidence to back it up. And it looks really bad when the evidence that we've seen shows that you have used your power inappropriately in the past. So again, I've said this many times. When the truth comes out, if Justin Baldoni is not the person he appears to be, I will give my support to Lively. I supported her originally. But when I realized that I've been lied to, I'm not about to believe her blindly moving forward. And that doesn't dictate my political views, it's common sense. And forcing people to pick a side, like I said before, like you're picking sides in a gymnasium playing dodgeball based on identity politics, is a slippery slope. And one that makes it harder for people to come to the table to find compromise and understanding. But I guess at the end of the day, I'm a pop culture commentator, not a journalist. So what do I know? And I must just be part of this bigger issue. And clearly Stephanie thinks that she has me and every other content creator figured out. Yeah. So there's my rant. There is my rant. And I can tell you guys, I think a lot of creators who have covered this case have talked about this article. And if you want to hear their opinions, I would encourage you to seek them out. I've been watching a few of them over the weekend. It's been very interesting. I think Zach and Dave did a really good job of explaining where they stood. I'm sure there are others, but I haven't had the time to be able to watch all of them. But yeah, it's very frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. And I just don't like people defining me, especially when it's done very unfairly. So there are our main topics. And with that, we're in halftime. How you doing, producer sister?
I'm fine.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on that as I get everything set up for the next portion?
Oh, it's just... I feel like so many of these things are issues across the spectrum are trying to be traced back to these... I don't know how to say this right. This ideology that you have to be on one side or the other. And for so many of us in different countries around the world, we don't have that.
No.
It's not how we operate in a day-to-day. We have issues that fall on all sides of the spectrum, and that's okay. And we don't have to be pigeonholed into a box of, if you believe this, then you believe this, 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 and this.
Mm-hmm.
And to try to bring that into this case and to say that, well, if you believe this, then you must be on this side of the case, is so short-sighted and also ultimately insulting to people.
Yeah.
That you can't make up your own mind about these things, that you have to be this if you're this. And it's not a thing. And
yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
And the same thing with saying like it's just a bunch of mommy sleuths. Well, what about people like Dave and Zach and others who are covering this?
That's the thing. Like I can't remember what the exact word was. I think I saw Dave on an Instagram post pop in and just be like something like "Daddy Sleuth reporting for duty." Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what even is this? And it's like for example, like I'm a dog mom, but to a lot of people, I'm not a mom.
Yeah.
So what am I? Like what is Andy? What is like what are all like enough. Enough. Speaking of being a dog mom, I am seeing the request for Lacey. Let me see. I don't know if you guys can see. She is asleep there in her little bed. She pulled the blanket up over herself. It's so cute. I was dying. Hi. Do you want to come say hi? Or are you sleeping? Do you want to come? It's okay if you don't. Let me pick you up. Okay. Oh, she's so warm and toasty. Oh. There's Lacey. Yeah, Lacey says hello to everyone. Yeah. You're starting to feel a bit better. Had some tummy trouble for a bit, but you're doing better. Yeah. But you've been very snuggly, which is fine. She's normally not very snuggly. She's got way too much on her mind and she's very busy. So, yeah. Do you have anything you want to say? Any burps today or too tired for that? That's okay. Okay. I'll put you back in your bed. Tuck you back in. There we go. Yeah, she's very cute. Very, very cute. Alrighty. I have some support to catch up on. My goodness. Thank you so much to all of you. Let me see here. King Bob said, I have a few bucks for reporting about Blake, lol. Oh, thanks. I feel like I'm waiting for it to be like Stephanie Bucks or, like Glamour Bucks. Something like that. For those of you that were around for the Boozy Bucks drama. Carbonized, thank you for I'm pretty sure the PayPal you sent me, as well as this comment you sent in saying, this is them weaponizing us against one another rather than facing the person and behavior at fault. This is, in my opinion, more deflection and via gaslighting and blame shifting, same as they did with Amber. Hit the like. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Carbonized. I appreciate that. That's incredibly generous of you. Lacey, are you okay? Do you need some help getting comfy? She's like, no, now she can't get comfy. Oh no. Okay. I'll help you in a sec there. You figure out where you want to go. Silky gifted a membership. Thank you very much. I think that brings us to 12.
13.
13? Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And Denny Rose, thank you so much for being a member for 3 months, saying Stephanie type people are threatened by your work. And the thing is, I don't want that to be the case. I don't, because I think we both have a place, right? If there's journalists that investigate and they have sources and they go and they talk to people and they do different things, I just weigh in my opinion on it and I try to take a look at multiple sides of the way that something is being reporting to try to kind of bring a smorgasbord of it to people and have it all be in one place, right? That's part of why I try to credit the organizations that I source. I don't want to that's why I have links, is why I do those things, because I do respect what they do. And I just wish there could be mutual respect. But not feeling that right now. Oh, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But thank you, Carbonize, for the PayPal. For real, though. I'm going to read your whole comment. I can see it. And my heart goes out to you. Yeah. Smorgasbord. It's okay. I don't know how many of you guys actually really seen this shirt, but it's St. Patty's Day, so I tried to put I have a little bit of green eyeshadow on. I got my green hoodie. I got a green tank underneath this shirt. But yes, I have my Starbucks kerfiefy instead of Starbucks because
Bork,
Muppets.
bork,
Bork, bork, bork. Birdie and the biscuit. Guys know I love my Muppets. If you've been here at all for a while, you know I love my Muppets. Alrighty. Well, guys, we can chill for a few minutes. This is normally the part of the show where I just communicate with my audience. We chill, we talk, and then I get into What the What, which is the thing from around the internet that is interesting, funny, crazy, all those good things. And we'll have a good time. So if you've only been here for the main topic and that's why you're here, thank you so much for choosing to be here today. I know you had a lot of options and it means a lot to me, and you are welcome to stay. And I'm so glad that you all are here. And I'm just going to take a look at the chat here for a few minutes and see how you guys are doing. And my screen just went all weird.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's super great. Super duper helpful. Alrighty.
If you like her shirt, I just put the link for her shirt in the chat.
Service Borky Bork. Yep. Ward. Alrighty. Let's see here. Do. Judy just said, always love your fair and empathetic opinion, Kim. I try. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. I do my best. Dreadnought just said, YouTube creators are not client journalists. Legacy media doesn't like that. I didn't realize that I had to live by the rules of somebody else's industry. You know? Like, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys don't operate by our industry, right? And this is the thing too, like there was a lot of discussion over the weekend too about the way that algorithms work and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, here's the fun thing about the YouTube algorithm. And this was a fun thing I had to explain to an employer once. The algorithm does what it wants. The algorithm is constantly changing. The moment you think you have the algorithm figured out, you don't. It's its own thing. And you just have to keep learning how to roll with it. There is no rule book. There is no secret formula. It be what it be. Engagement is the name of the game. But the thing is, you can't just depend on a shock value engagement, right? Because if all you do is clickbait, you're not going to have repeat people coming back. If all you do is scream into an abyss, eventually people get tired of listening to you scream. You have to have more things that are there, right? Like, I could have horrific pictures up on screen and just myself screaming on the other side of the room for hours. That doesn't mean, like, it's going to make people angry. It's going to get engagement in the first bit, but people are going to leave, right? It's not sustainable. You've got to figure out your own niche. You've got to figure out your own thing. It's more complicated than that. Let me see here. Susan Dawn said, that's why we come here, Kim. It's because we know you're so thorough with your research. We trust in you. I appreciate that, Susan, and I do my best to deserve that trust and to maintain it. And if I mess up, I will do my best to tell you guys as soon as I know, and I hope that is okay.
I think, if I can just interject for
absolutely.
a second, just something it reminded me of is, most of you guys know we grew up in a Christian household. We went to church, and I think one of the things that always shaped us a lot is the senior pastor at the church we went to growing up. Every Sunday before he would start preaching,
and he's a real one.
Yeah,
like, for the record, he's a real one.
You probably know where I'm going. He would tell us to do our own research, and to not just trust what he said, but to look in. He would tell you all his resources. He would tell you to go and look into it, and if you didn't agree with something, to come and talk to him. That just because he was the one standing on the platform behind the pulpit, it didn't mean that he was above being questioned, and that we should just take everything he said carte blanche. He wanted us to investigate things for ourselves and to take that ownership and to also hold him accountable.
Yeah.
And I think that's the sign of a really good leader, is someone who is willing to admit that they can make mistakes, that is willing to be told that they've made a mistake without flying off the handle, and all those kind of things. So I think that's something that you've really tried to bring to this.
To the best of my ability, yes. Because, and I will say too, I've had the opposite experience with, in a religious setting with a preacher that, you know, they're preaching something and I'm going, that doesn't check out. That doesn't check out. And then being told, well, no, you're basically a stupid woman and shouldn't speak, to which I go, blah, 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 blah. Here are my receipts as to why you are wrong, and I can tell you it in multiple translations. And, you know, then you have people that get mad because they're being challenged and everything else. But I think it's important that we can't forget our history. We can't forget where we've come from. We can't forget the mistakes that have been made before us. And we also have to be willing to learn, right? Like, I really think education is critically important. And I'm not saying necessarily always school education, right? It was the Mark Twain quote of, I don't let school get in the way of my education. But we have to be able to challenge. We have to be able to question. And we can do so in a respectful manner.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you get to be a douchebag about it.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it in a respectful, constructive manner.
Yeah.
And we can have an adult conversation about things.
Mm-hmm. Kyle just said screaming baby giraffe is our spirit animal.
Yeah,
the stages of grief. Giraffe, the Me.
Yep.
Me. All the time. All the time. My goodness. I can't believe how many of you guys are here. It's so good to see everybody. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to stream on Wednesday, so I'm really happy to see you guys all here today. I will do my best. I'm hoping. I am hoping. It's a bit of a crazy week, but so far we're doing okay. We're doing okay.
The weekend took all the crazy.
Please. Please let that be the case. Please, God. Silky just said my spirit animal is Psyduck. Don't stress me out. Stop. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Lee just said, I always laugh at people who go to a YouTube channel and just tell the person to shut up and don't watch. That's the other thing, too. I'm like, do you guys not understand that you can, like, go and click anything you want? You don't have to stay. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. You could just be like, no.
I'm going somewhere else. And that is your right.
Right? Like, there was a time where television had, like, 3 channels. And you were stuck with what you were stuck with. We no longer live in that world. If you want to watch something, you have so many options. So many options. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Everybody going, sigh, sigh. Right, KDRs? What? We're not forced to watch? No. You're not. You are not. It's always a crazy concept. Crazy, crazy concept. Alrighty. Well, are we ready to do What the What, guys? Are we ready? I think I'm ready. I don't know about you guys. Let me see here. Yeah. I think we're at a good time to do it. Alrighty. Let's do this. So, I have not seen the What the What. I know what the topic is, but I have not seen any of the content, so I'll be reacting with you for this. It is all put together by producer sister. So let's go to it. Let's go to it. It looks like it is a festive. It is a festive. What the What? St. Patrick's Day facts to know before you start celebrating. Oh dear.
And my disclaimer. 2 things. 1, I did not go through and fact check myself all of these facts from the article, so if something's wrong, I'm sorry. 2, it was just a text article, so I found other random St. Patrick's Day pictures and just paired them. The pictures don't have anything to do with the fun fact.
Okay.
They're just there to make it prettier and a little more festive.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Festive day. I feel like it's like should we do like the Mariah Carey, like, it's time, but it's St. Patrick's Day.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
All right. Even space travelers apparently celebrate St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is observed in all nations, including those in lower orbits. Aboard St. Patrick's Day 2013, astronaut Chris Hadfield recorded himself singing Danny Boy on NASA's International Space Station. The same year, astronaut Caddy Coleman celebrated by playing the flute in the satellite.
Chris Hadfield is Canadian, FYI, as well.
Oh. Awesome. How do you play flute in space?
I don't know. Well, I mean, you breathe like normal when you're in... I guess you couldn't be outside the space station. You'd have to be in the space station.
All right, fair enough.
Or have a really weird makeshift helmet. How do you... Yeah, no,
Yeah.
You've got to be in the space station.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that because air is so different, right?
Yeah.
Since 1962, Chicago has colored its river green every year. Has anyone ever seen that? I've never seen that. Chicago actually dyes their river?
Yeah.
Please let me know in the chat if you have witnessed this, because I personally have not. In 1962, the dyeing custom became an annual occurrence, marking nearly 60 years since. Don't worry, the dye is safe for the environment. 40 pounds are used to color the river, maintaining it for 4 to 5 hours. Sarai just said, yes, they do. Lisa, yes on the news. Okay. Katie said, the university near me does this. It's not algae. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So I kind of want to see that now. That's crazy. In the USA, more than 34.8 million people have Irish heritage. Just to put that in perspective, it has a population that is more than 7 times that of Ireland, just behind German. Irish is the second most prevalent heritage among Americans, with 12.9% of its population claiming Irish heritage. It has the I can't talk today. New York has the highest concentration of Irish people. There we go. Well, producer sister and I are a little bit Irish.
Yeah.
A little bit on our
Little
dad's
bit.
side. Yeah. Nothing like.
We're a smorgasbord of Europe.
Yeah. We're a lot. Alrighty. The first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in America. A St. Patrick's Day parade was held on March 17th, 1601, in a Spanish colony, which is now St. Augustine, Florida. It had to be Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Had to be Florida. Well, quite honestly, the time of year, how many places in the United States could you comfortably have a parade?
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. Over 100 countries around the world celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Buenos Aires, Argentina, Singapore, where they also dye the river green. Tokyo, Dubai, Istanbul, and Oslo. The list continues forever. What are they wearing? What are these? Of course there's a Montreal Canadiens fan there.
Yep. It's some weird snow pants that makes it look like a leprechaun horse or something. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like that would be kind of one of those things that it'd be hard to walk away from that and not get that if I saw that.
Yep.
I'd be laughing way too hard. People get pinched if you don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day. The legend of the green-clad, red-haired leprechaun is connected with a mystical kind of fairy that can be used for good or evil. On St. Patrick's Day, when we all wear green to honor St. Patrick, the leprechaun mythology is frequently connected to the holiday. Folklore holds that green renders you invisible to the nefarious leprechauns, who pinch everybody they can see on St. Patrick's Day. I did not know that. That's why?
Yeah. Apparently.
So we don't get pinched by a fairy? That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm not getting pinched today. There we go.
We're
I think
safe.
producer sister's in the clear too.
Yeah, I'm wearing green.
Oh, we must protect Bear.
Yes. She needs a bandana or something.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. The turtle though.
I know, I love the turtle. Between the hat and then the headband, I'm like, this is adorable.
Does anyone know what kind of turtle that is? Because I've met a few people that have, like, they love turtles and tortoises, and they're very opinionated about them.
Yes.
So, all right. Guinness is the most widely consumed alcoholic beverage on St. Patrick's Day. Yes. The soup of the day, whiskey.
I love that.
Some days be like that. Some days be like that. 13 million pints of Guinness will be consumed worldwide on St. Patrick's Day. The typical consumer will spend $36.50 most likely on Guinness. So the total amount spent on St. Patrick's Day will be $4.6 billion. Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Guinness. I mean, I understand why some people love it, but for me, not a super big fan. I would rather do the soup of the day. Not gonna lie. I'll get some Crown. The likelihood of discovering a four-leaf clover is 1 in 10,000. What is this outfit I am looking at? He is holding Lucky Charms.
And he's wearing Hulk shorts.
Really doesn't want to get pinched. Really, really doesn't want to get pinched.
Gone all out.
A white clover with 56 leaves holds the Guinness World Record. The likelihood of finding a four-leaf white clover is about 1 in 10,000, and the likelihood decreases after that. The white leaf and clovers are... Okay, so if a regular four-leaf clover is 1 in 10,000, a white leaf clover, a five-leaf clover are 1 in 100,000. Wow. Have any of you guys ever found one before? Oh, yes, Katie, you know what? You're right. This is fashion. Should we do this? Is it fashion?
It's fashion meets... It's fashion... It's... Excuse me.
I feel like that's appropriate here.
I think the only day this is fashion is St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, I would agree.
Other days, not so much. But today, you get a pass.
What? Oh my goodness. Little animal, oh my goodness. One of the myths surrounding St. Patrick's is that he stood on a hillside in Ireland and forbade snakes from living there, causing all the snakes to slither into the sea. Evidence indicates that snakes may have never existed in the Emerald Isle. Snake remains have not been found in the nation's fossil record, and ever since the last glacial epoch, water has encircled Ireland. The area has been covered with ice before that, making it too cold for reptiles to survive. So St. Patrick was a bit Indiana Jones then.
Mm-hmm.
Snakes.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Oh, crap. Here you go. Oh, that's a lovely dye job.
Isn't it?
That's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not on present. Crap, did you guys not see the other one?
Nope.
I suck. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Katie. I'm sorry. There was the mouse, or I'm not sure what it is. I apologize. Alrighty. And then this guy who has the green facial hair. I don't know how to say that name. When Maywin? Sakat? I hope I said that right, and I'm so sorry if I did not. Completed his training. Pope Celestine. Is that it? Gave him the new name Patricus or Patrick, meaning parent or nobleman. Then St. Patrick began his missionary work in Ireland. St. Patrick was imprisoned, unfortunately, beaten and attacked, and he worked to promote his message. With the founding of the numerous Christian churches and institutions, it seemed that he had gained a great deal of popularity towards the end of his career. Fair. The first St. Patrick's Day was blue. Well, why didn't we do that? I mean, I like green, but blue's cool too. According to historians, Irish soldiers dressed in full green uniforms on March 17th during the Irish Rebellion of 1798, an uprising against the British control in Ireland, to make a political statement. As a result, the color changed from blue to green. Okay, that makes sense. Some claim that this is the original term of the Emerald Isle. All right. Fair.
Cute little anecdote about this picture.
Yes.
There was a caption with it. This guy finds out which of his neighbors wants him to go and hide various treasure for the local kids in the neighborhood to go and find for St. Patrick's Day. So he basically does a find and seek of a pot of gold for all the neighbor kids.
Oh,
I thought that was super cute.
that is cute. Only 2 nations worldwide observe St. Patrick's Day as a public holiday. So, Montserrat and Montserrat?
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying that right. And Ireland, including Northern Ireland. In Montserrat, I can't talk. That country. St. Patrick's Day is observed to honor the island's Irish heritage and recall the slave uprising on March 17th, 1768. Visitors to the island receive an Irish shamrock stamp on this day. However, the rest of the world didn't pay attention to this specific colonial history until 1971. I'm going to look at that puppy again, though. Those 2 dogs are cute.
They're adorable.
They're so cute. Does anybody have their dogs dressed up today? Let me know. More than 600 stadiums, sculptures, museums, and towers will be illuminated green on St. Patrick's Day, including the Sydney Opera House, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and the Roman Colosseum. This year, more than 600 prominent landmark buildings worldwide are expected to be light green to commemorate St. Patrick's Day as part of a wildly successful global greening program. That's cool.
I'm guessing you can add the CN Tower and Niagara Falls to that list because they usually do the same.
They do pretty colors there.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's escaped Ireland by boat. St. Patrick's Confession, a book allegedly authored by him, claims that God instructed Patrick to escape his captors and head for the coast, where a boat would be waiting to transport him back home. All right. The trap there?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. The real St. Patrick was born in Britain. What is this image?
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
What happened here?
Okay, so...
Story time!
Story time.
Story time!
Secret. I usually build these What the Wuts on top of one another.
Ah.
I forgot to change the picture.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Maybe they're having Guinness.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Or they're
having
about to get
Guinness.
pinched because they're not wearing green.
Yes. They're in trouble. The
Yeah.
folklore, okay, so the real St. Patrick was born in Britain. The folklore and legends surrounding St. Patrick's life have been woven into much of what is known about him. Most historians concur that St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, was born near the end of the 4th century in Britain rather than Ireland. He was abducted by Irish robbers when he was 16 and given to a Celtic priest in Northern Ireland as an enslaved person. Oh gosh. He fled back to Britain after working as a shepherd for 6 years. He finally made a missionary trip back to Ireland. Wow. I need a puppet history episode on this.
Yeah,
desperately.
that'd be really good.
Desperately. Because I don't know if you guys, I love puppet history. I don't know how many of you guys have noticed the professor behind me. Hi, Watcher. I love you. I love you. But they have one episode where they actually went into St. Nicholas. And that was quite illuminating. Very different than what I thought it came from. He was spicy. He was spicy. Shamrocks were reversed as sacred plant, or were revered as sacred plants. Ireland has long been linked to the shamrock, a 3-leaf clover. The Celts referred to it as a seamroy and revered it as a sacred plant that heralded the coming of spring. Legend states that St. Patrick explained the Holy Trinity by using the plant as a visual aid. I could see that. The shamrock had come to represent the burgeoning Irish nationalism by the 17th century. Apparently I need to do Hooked on Phonics. Argentina hosts South America's largest St. Patrick's Day event. Argentina is one of the most unexpected nations to observe St. Patrick's Day. The biggest St. Patrick's Day celebration in South America is in Buenos Aires. A party is held in the city center, among other festivals and events that take place all around the same place. All right. That was a lot in that car.
Yeah.
That
is an Uber.
That's an Uber?
It's an Uber. Someone said they got picked. That's how
Can you
they started
imagine
their
the Uber
day.
pulls up at your house and that's what you get in?
It'd be pretty awesome, actually.
St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York receives more than 5.5 million visitors annually. This 1879 dedicated New York City landmark receives more than 5 million tourists annually. It is one of the city's most impressive architectural sites, with spires reaching 330 feet in height. Its interior features a large organ with 7,855 pipes, several altars, stained glass windows, and 2,400 seats. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Also, I love the dog costumes.
Yes.
I love the dog
They're
costumes.
pretty awesome. That organ must be something to listen to, though.
Oh, this picture. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but Mr. Bean be there.
Yes, he is.
Mr. Bean be there staring.
Dressed up for St. Patrick's Day.
Beautiful. The 17th of March is always the date of St. Patrick's Day. Patrick's Day is recognized annually on March 17th, though the festivities are not necessarily restricted to this day. March 17th has a special meaning because it is thought to commemorate the anniversary of St. Patrick's death in the late 5th century. There we go. Down Cathedral is where St. Patrick remains are allegedly located. I know the pictures are just meant to be festive, but it's just like when I see Down Cathedrals where his remains, I looked up and I'm like, oh, it's a St. Patrick's Christmas tree.
We celebrate him.
Yes. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is thought that St. Patrick's remains are interred at the Down Cathedral in County Down on the site of Benedictine Monastery. The Church of Ireland built this magnificent cathedral. We'll have to take a look at the cathedral because I'd be curious.
Yeah.
Was it Down Cathedral?
Down Cathedral.
Down Cathedral. Okay, hang on. Let me take a look here for a second. It's big.
Is it?
It's big. Big, big. I will put pictures up when we are through the presentation. Get back here. Okay. On St. Patrick's Day, people often eat Irish soda bread. I have never had Irish soda bread.
Neither have I.
Put a 1 in the chat if you've had Irish soda bread. taste like? Before baking, the dough is occasionally marked with a cross to fend off the devil. Well, that's a good thing. Cut a cross on the top of your soda bread and keep the devil out. In the 19th century, it was thought that cutting the cross into your bread would allow the devil to escape while it was baked. What, does devil live in dough?
I guess.
Does devil live in carbs? That's cruel. It's awful. Additionally, it was thought that the symbolism could be viewed as a blessing and the bread expressing gratitude. Interesting. Oh, okay. Dreadnought just said it goes well with some Jamesons. All right, fair enough. Celtic fairies are likely the inspiration for leprechauns. Yeah, okay, so this... More about that. So the leprechaun with the green outfit and red hair symbolizes St. Patrick's Day. These folklore characters are known by their Irish appellation. I don't know how to say that, but it translates to small-bodied person. The Celtic concept of fairies, tiny people with magical abilities who use them for good or evil, is thought to be the origin of the belief of leprechauns. Leprechauns are grumpy characters who fixed the other fairies' shoes in Celtic folklore. Interesting. Right, Raphael? I guess carbs are evil.
Boo.
Boo. I reject that because bread was Christ's body. So, biblically, that is incorrect.
We're going to communion.
I will use the Bible to defend my carbs. No. Corned beef and cabbage originated in America. Okay. So, corned beef and cabbage, a dish that has become a St. Patrick's Day tradition nationwide, was created in America. While ham and cabbage were traditionally Irish fare, poor immigrants had access to corned beef as a less expensive alternative. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Irish Americans who lived in the lower Manhattan slums bought leftover corned beef from ships coming back from the tea trade in China. The Irish would boil the beef 3 times to eliminate some of the salinity?
Mm-hmm.
To eliminate, some of the salinity, finally adding the cabbage. Interesting. That is a very interesting dressed up statue.
Yep.
Gorgeous. Oh, the inflatables on the lawn. Yes.
I thought you'd like that.
Yes. I love that there's 2 dinosaurs.
Yeah, I thought you would enjoy that.
Like, I have to say, I do love the balloon dog. I feel like that's adorable. I would probably get that one, but just the fact that there isn't one dinosaur for St. Patrick's Day. There's 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2. St. Patrick was born in Mewe, Kent, and took the name Patricius in his writings. This name is... You're killing me, producer sister, all these words.
I'm sorry.
They're so hard. Patriarch in Old Irish, which is the equivalent to Patrick in English. As you can imagine, can you imagine a St. Maewyn Saket holiday? The remainder of St. Patrick's life was spent in Ireland. He established churches all over the nation and proclaimed the gospel. He passed away on March 17th, 461 at Saul, where he had established his first church. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever had an inflatable thing on your front lawn. Because those are fun, but they're also a lot. According to legend, the clover's 4 leaves stand for hope, faith, love, and luck. The proverb, the luck of the Irish, refers to the widespread belief that Ireland has the highest concentration of 4-leaf clovers of any country. Look for more if you're fortunate enough to come across one. And also, I love this picture. Look at this dog. Look at this dog.
Mm-hmm. He wants his treat. It's cookie time.
He's adorable. He is adorable. Memories of the last St. Patrick's Day when it was sunny and 17 degrees in Toronto. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Mm-mm. But I love the puppy and the We the North Cup.
Yep.
That's pretty great.
You could tell it is Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
The We the North Cup.
Yeah. The Feast of St. Patrick is another name for St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, also known as the Feast of St. Patrick, I'm not reading that in a different language, is the annual religious and cultural event that takes place on March 17th in honor of St. Patrick. Yes. All good. The Feast of St. Patrick, though. That's fun. And there we go. And there is the What the What. Thank you so much, producer sister, for putting that together for us. Can we get some hearts in the chat for producer sister? Just to say thank you. That was fun. I know we're making good time today.
We are really making
We
good
really
time.
are making good time. And that might end up actually being for the better because my throat is really sore. So we're going to go for a little bit more, I think. I think we're good to do that for a bit. We got some extra time. So I hope everybody is doing okay. Kyle just said one of the houses down the street have inflatables all over their yard almost all year round.
Oh my goodness.
There's somebody that is like somewhat in the vicinity of where we live, and they put up like these really cool displays around the Olympics.
Yes.
They have like a scoreboard and everything they put up.
Awesome.
And I'm always waiting for them to just go like full, like every month they're gonna do something different, because they are the people that also have like the Star Wars projectors around Christmas. Like I'm always like, I love this. I love this for you.
They look like so much fun.
They do. They do. You ever have that? You have like a neighbor, maybe that's not even your neighbor. You're just aware of where they live because you drive past their house and you're like, they look like fun people.
Like they're in your subdivision.
I'd like to get to know them.
Yeah.
They seem like fun people.
I've often thought, like, at the end of the Olympics, maybe we should actually do it next time. Like, just put a letter in their mailbox or something. It just says, like,
thank you for entertaining me.
Thank you for doing this. Like, we love it.
Oh, Katie just said our neighborhood holiday yard decorations get stolen, so that's a no now. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. You okay, Lacey? Go back to sleep. It's okay. It's okay. Oh my goodness. Oh right, we need to find the Okay, let's look at the cathedral.
Yes.
Okay, give me a second.
Find the church.
That is a big church. Oh, that's a crap picture of the big church. Hang on. Alrighty. There be the church. It is large. Oh my goodness. Dreadnought, I know. I can't pronounce anything. I also, not gonna lie, guys, I bit my tongue. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but it's like at the back of my mouth and like the side of my mouth, and now it's a little bit swollen, which has been super fun to try to say words over the last few days, so that's been fun. Cheegirl68 said, we have neighbors that have a giant Jack Skellington on their lawn all year round.
Nice.
We would be friends. We would very likely be friends. Yeah, but that's a big church.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big church.
It reminds me of one of the ones we saw in Spain.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and I'm pulling up a Green River. Ooh! Oh! That... I get what they were going for. But that doesn't look healthy. There's something about that. I immediately just go like, if you didn't know what was going on, might be a little disturbed. Maybe a little bit. Katie's like, it's not algae, Kim. I know what it looks like. Oh my gosh. Oh no, Danny just said we used to have a great cathedral-style church where I live, but someone set fire to it. Why are people doing this? This is why we can't have nice things. Because you burn them.
I have to take them
away. Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly, Caliber. It looks like pea soup. It looks like pea soup. It's ridiculous. Let me see. Dragonfly just said, I think she's a bit behind us. Just said that Glamour writer had to re-exert her position of power as the voice of authority. Yeah, I don't think it went very well. I mean, like, people are gonna have their own opinions and everything else, and you can't make everybody happy. And as a journalist, like, you have to write, I would assume, the way that you think it is and be fair, but it's just a lot. It's a lot. I did not appreciate her take whatsoever. Jackie Swan has been a member for 16 months, saying Legacy Media has one opinion, YouTube has many. Oh, I like that. I like that. I do really like that. It's true. It's true. I mean, I know there's different leanings within Legacy Media, right? But I think it's, can the nuance exist? And I think you have a better shot at having nuance exist on YouTube. Um, try not that glamour writer needs a lamp. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. And I've been singing that song a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
Take the shade, take the bulb, take the cord, take it all. You look like you could use a lamp.
So are any of you guys doing anything for St.
Yes,
Patrick's Day?
share
Let
your
us
stories.
know.
Share your stories. I think we'll stay here for another 10 minutes or so, and
Yeah.
then we'll go. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I do have, Dreadnought said I do have a what the what for Kim pronouncing things. I'm sorry.
It's hard.
I'm sorry. It's not fun. I'm not good at it. I'm really not. And I know that. I know that. I try. Let me see. Yeah, we don't think we really have any plans for St. Patrick's Day. We're gonna make we're using the ninja slushy thing that we have.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make some shamrock shakes.
Yeah.
Which I know you guys will love. I'm not a big mint person, so I may have a little bit, but I think you guys will love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time. And anybody having Guinness, anybody doing any of that, all that stuff, let me know.
Going to any events or went on the weekend?
Yeah, let me know. Katie already said, have you seen the viral guy that mispronounces things on purpose? It gets me every time. No, but I think I'd like to. Yeah. Let me see. Honestly, I think, was it the only other thing I know I had debated on talking about on this show, because I'd love to see people's opinions on it, because it's an absolute dumpster fire, and if there isn't much to talk about with St. Patrick's Day, we could bring this up. How's everybody feeling about Snow White? How's everybody feeling about the new Snow White?
Kim has a rant on this one,
Oh
too.
my gosh, and it's not the rant that people think it is. Like, I honestly, I feel like if I do my rant, like, the way that I want to, I'd probably be like, people would be like, why is she mad about that? But it's like, it really pisses me off. Basically, for those of you that aren't aware, Disney has a new live-action Snow White that is coming out. And pretty much from the very beginning of the process of this film, it has been a dumpster fire. Like, from beginning to end. And there has been so much controversy. And some of it's been political, and some of it has been, like, human rights related, disability and visibility for little people. It's gotten, like, more and more and more insane. And I don't know, I think the biggest thing for me, separate from the social issues, because I believe everybody has the right to have their own political views, and I'm not going to get into that or anything like that. But I get really mad when people poop on Snow White as a character. And this is when the Disney nerd in me comes out, and I know that I probably really annoy people when I get into this stage. But it's like, people are like, well, I don't like Snow White because she's naive. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. She was like 14 in the story, right? Like, they get mad that she's like, here we go. Yeah, so, like, it's so, the Snow White is so annoying, Silky, but I mean, like, it's, the character of itself is she's a kid. She's a kid. Both her parents are dead. She's stuck with this stepmom who's throwing her into slavery, and then she's like, and then someone is hired to take her out, and she runs, and she's the heir to the throne. Like, it's absolutely bizarre. And then people make this big thing out of, like, oh, well, she's kissed by the prince and she didn't consent, and I'm like, I've known many people who go to funerals with an open casket and they give a little kiss goodbye. Like, it's just, I feel like there's some of this stuff that people just get way too upset about, and it gets crazy. It gets absolutely crazy. And I was just watching this It's like a song, an AI song that was created out of looking at YouTube comments on the trailer for Snow White. It's just stuff like they finally did it. They found a movie that no one will pirate. And I can hear Walt Disney's, what is it, frozen head screaming from inside the Disney vault and things like that. It's gotten to the point. It's just the whole thing is just a dumpster fire. I cannot believe they're actually releasing the film. I can't believe they finished it. I probably would have canned this whole thing because ultimately at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who judge the Snow White film and I don't think they fully get that what you're judging is the first one. You're judging the first full-length animated film by the standard that you have come to expect of animated films 30, 40, 50, 60 years later down the road. So it's like, it's unfair to judge the first one by those standards because it had to happen in some capacity, right? And there were lessons that were going to be learned and the art was going to develop and all of those types of things. So I think being really like, well, you know, the story just hasn't aged well and it hasn't done this and whatever. And it's like, okay, but can we acknowledge that it
was groundbreaking?
What it is? It is an icon. It is iconic. It is why we have the Walt Disney Company that we have today. It's why we have animation the way we have it today. And I will tolerate no Snow White disrespect because of what it means to the industry. And it bothers me when that kind of gets like thrown to the side because it's just ridiculous. Yeah, and Katie just said, why have a lead actress that doesn't understand that? I don't know. I can't imagine a larger honor to be given the role of the original Disney princess. And also, I would argue from a feminist perspective, how incredible it is that the first animated full-length movie was fronted by a female character that people loved. That's crazy. That's huge. Like, to me, it's just so special. It's so special. So, anyway, that's just me. That's just me. Producer sister, do you have anything you want to say?
The dwarves. Why?
The nightmare fuel that they are?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And the disrespect.
Oh.
There is no reason why you couldn't have cast dwarves. Why are they some CGI nightmare fuel inducing? Why?
Come on. They do look a bit... Okay.
If you're doing a live action, do a live action.
Trigger warning before we put this on screen. There they are. There they be. When quite bluntly, we could have had incredible actors, like
why
little people
Peter
actors.
Dinklage not grumpy?
Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at with these. Like, they scare me. They actually are scary to me. I'm offended. I'm offended.
Like, there are so few roles that are especially written for little people.
Yeah.
Why are you taking this from them? They deserve this. There are so many such talented actors who could have filled these roles. And you did this?
Yeah. And
why?
I also stand by, if you want to tell me that Snow White is the fairest of them all, why'd you do her dirty and make her look like Lord Farquaad?
Yeah.
Why? This was a choice. This was a choice. And I will stand by this because I have seen theme park Snow Whites that are stunning.
Mm-hmm. That
their hair, their costuming is beautiful. What is this? Why? Like, I honestly hope that Katzenberg is just, like, laughing somewhere looking at this and seeing, like, the comparisons. Because it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I got nothing. I got nothing. Yeah, Lee, exactly. Yeah, Peter did complain about it publicly, and he was right.
Yeah.
Peter was right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Like,
it's
no.
The whole thing is stupid. And the thing is, I am seeing that it's getting good reviews. So I'm happy for them. But I I can't see this going super well. Like, honestly, okay, put a 1 in the chat if you're planning on going to see it.
Mhm.
And put a 2 in the chat if your answer would be absolutely not. Because I am firmly in team 2. Like, I'm just going to put that there. Maybe I should do a poll. Should we do a poll? Let's do a poll. Are you going to go see Snow White? Yes or no? Because I am telling you I'm not going. I am not going. Yelling like Jennifer Hudson. Not going. Speaking of, maybe after this film comes out, Disney will have
insufficient funds. You ain't got no money. Ooh.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. It's just, yeah. Yeah. I debated on doing like a little stream just to complain about it and look at some of the funny comments because they were killing me. Absolutely killing me. Oh, Sarai, thank you. You could have been a better Snow White. I'm too old. Honestly, because this is the thing. Part of like her character is that she is so young. She's a kid. She's a kid. You know? Someone hit yes by mistake. Thank you, King Bob. No, I mean, look at that. That's bad. That's really bad. And it's like they're projecting like what, 50 million or something?
Oh, higher than that.
Domestic?
Higher than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I will be shocked. I will be shocked. I genuinely will. And it's honestly, and a part of it for me is just the visual of it. Like I get that there's all the woke controversy and everything else, and I understand why some people have issues with that, and I understand where there are issues, but like, it to me is just the disrespect to the source material, and what it represents, and then also like the disrespect to little people. Everything is just mess.
Well, the thing with the casting is there are some roles where the appearance of the character is not a part of who their character is.
Yes.
What race they are, what their hair color is, all that kind of stuff is not a part. It's not integral to the story.
Mm-hmm.
AKA Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in there that says she's white with red hair.
I honestly, that whole debate made me laugh so hard because I'm like, are we seriously arguing about the realism of a mermaid?
Yeah. It's a mermaid.
The realism of a mermaid. We're going to have this discussion? I can't. But I understand some of the criticism when it comes to Snow White in this. But I think for me, the big thing is just that it's a classic story for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like attacking like Prince Charming, whereas like you could have taken that opportunity to really build on that relationship, because I've always understood that there was more of a backstory between him and Snow in the original, but because of timing and how expensive animation was, they really couldn't get into all of it. And I don't have like my sources on that, but I can tell you the first DVD I ever purchased was a special edition of Snow White. I actually pre-ordered it at the parks when it was announced. And they had a ton of behind the scenes stuff, and I watched all of it, and I learned a lot about the film. But just this idea that if you look at it from the princess perspective, it would be very easy to have a character that's like, okay, so he's a prince from a neighboring kingdom. They're probably going to be betrothed because that's the way that it worked. And he's watching his betrothed be basically forced into like slavery essentially with a crazy mom, and both of her parents are like, both of Snow's parents are dead, and he wants to save her and everything else, and he feels this responsibility, and the next thing he knows, she's running because there's been a hit put out on her. Like, you could have such a dynamic relationship between the two of them. You really could. There was no reason to like be insulting it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just more context. Just more context. And there's nothing wrong with like a girl that's going through something horrible being like, I'm wishing for the one I love to find me.
Especially given her circumstances.
Yes. Okay. I mean, it's good for her to go on a journey and find the strength within herself. I'm not going to say that that's not, a thing that can happen, but it's just kind of ridiculous. Oh. Nicole, I don't understand this comment. What? Yeah, Nancy Drew said, and they could have changed it and not slammed the original. You can say you want to update something without saying the other was bad, but the actress was rude about it. I'll give you that. That's true. That is 100% true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And quite bluntly, I think it's interesting that I'm going to end the poll. We've got 94% of people going, I'm not going.
Yeah.
94%.
And just to kind of bounce off what some of you guys are saying in the chat, Jennifer Goodwin being Snow White in Once Upon a Time. That was a bit of an update to the character.
True.
She wasn't as of a naive little girl, but it was still paying homage to the source material. It wasn't degrading it or anything like that. And she did a really good job.
She did. She did.
Granted, I have not watched the entire series. They lost me about halfway
It got a
through.
little weird.
It got weird.
Sorry, Nancy Drew just laughing. 5% is going to report back to us, so thank you for your sacrifice.
Yes.
The Hunger Games thing.
We look forward to your review.
Gosh.
Does Andy have to go see that one?
I don't know.
Are we going to get a movie world review?
I don't know. I mean, he's away for the
Mhm.
week, so I'm not sure when the advanced screenings would be happening, but I mean, the premiere wasn't normal. Nothing about this rollout
No.
has been normal, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
But just, I think we've seen in other more modern takes on Snow White that you can
Mm-hmm.
update the character to a more modern viewpoint, especially too, because even though it came, what was it, the 40s it came out in, 50s?
Snow White?
Snow White?
No, I think we were 30s or 40s. Let me double check. 37.
37, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
37!
30, like, this movie's almost 100 years old. And it was based on, like, it took place in centuries before that. It's not going to be exactly the same as our own current
And there's nothing
modern
wrong with
day.
that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But it's just, we can be nice about it.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like it was very well respected through all of that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Nicole, I don't want to look that up.
Nope.
I do not want
We're
to
going
look
to end
that
up
up.
on a list.
Yeah. I will be monitored. My FBI agent will be like, what is happening? It's going to be on the screen shortly, so if you wonder what I'm talking about, well, I won't say it. You can read it. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's Kim and Producer Sister. Favorite Disney song?
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
oh, that's hard.
That's so hard.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. There's so many.
Okay, I'm going to say 2. Can I say 2? Am I allowed?
Yeah, we're not going to be able to get this.
No.
It depends on our mood.
No. Serious?
We have playlists.
Serious song? My favorite one from Disney is Someday.
Yeah.
Which many of you probably are not familiar with because it was cut from the film. It's in the closing credits, but it's from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And beautiful song.
They cut some really good songs from the 90s.
Like If I Never Knew You,
If I
too.
Never Knew You was so good, too.
Mind you, I mean, Mel Gibson singing it was not,
No, we do the pop version.
I know, but I'm just saying. Yeah. And then my other favorite, because it is the Disney umbrella, and I will put this, and it won a freaking Oscar, is Man or Muppet. Am I a man or am I a Muppet? If I'm a Muppet, then I'm a very manly Muppet. It's just the most... It's everything. It's everything. Producer Sister.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Okay. Ones I know that we love on our playlist that frequently, like, are never skips and usually can be repeats.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think what my absolute all-time favorite is. I'm honestly not sure. But
Okay.
I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan.
I feel like it's impossible to not sing along.
I
to
know.
that
It's just so
song.
much fun. He Lives in You,
Ah, yes.
which was originally written for the Broadway show for The Lion King and used in the second Lion King movie.
Yes. The second Lion King movie actually has bangers.
It does.
It's like underrated.
I am one of those weird people who like the music from Frozen 2 more than the original. Into the Unknown and Show Yourself.
Oh, Salmon Bake just said show yourself from Frozen 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Next Right Thing. I don't know how you listen to that song without crying.
Yeah.
Because it hits
It
home.
hits deep.
It hits real deep. So, yeah,
I think
that's hard.
Yeah, that one's. But I think also too, like, I mean, I remember the first time. Oh my gosh, I'm like getting teary eyed thinking about it, and I felt so stupid in the theater. But the first time that we saw Frozen,
Yeah.
when we heard "Let It Go,"
Yeah.
I just had a moment as an Adina fan.
Yes.
Like watching her through Rent and then into Wicked and then being here and I'm listening to this, I'm going like, this is going to be everywhere. This is going to be massive. I will be hearing this song for the rest of my freaking life. Absolute queen. She has arrived, and the respect that Adina deserves is coming, and I was so excited for her, and I just had to like I really didn't even hear it that much the first time because I was just crying. I was so happy for her. You know?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like same feelings I had like listening to like Ari and Cynthia the first time doing Wicked, right?
Yeah.
Just like, oh, too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So he said, "I see the light from Tangled."
Yes.
Which is, I think there's so many songs that, depending on what you're going through in your life, in different phases, it changes and evolves, but they just hit home in different ways, and that's the truly great thing, like marker of a great song, that they can resonate with you so much. And I think, yes, Tarzan soundtrack, Sarai.
Oh gosh.
Gosh.
Phil didn't have to go that hard, but he did.
Oh.
Phil, here's the thing. I feel like we've had some soundtracks where you've had like a famous musician come in and they kind of like phone it in and they do it because it's like, okay, it's a gig. And I feel like Phil Collins went, I am going to be a legend.
Yes, and he was.
And he did.
And like other ones, I think of, I know from Encanto, everyone was "We Don't Talk About Bruno," but for me, like "Surface Pressure" was a song. Yeah, I still have trouble with that song.
Yep. I will also say too, Kel Bear calling out the deep cut of "Proud of Your Boy."
Yep.
Aladdin. Absolutely. Yeah, I think there's so much. There's so many, and it's also like the deep cut world of Disney is really interesting too. Yeah, it's
and like Phil Collins with Tarzan, Elton with The Lion King was just. I mean, those are the movies, like the 90s Disney is what we really grew up on.
Yeah.
Right? That was our bread and butter.
We got lucky that way.
We did.
We got lucky that way. I will say that there was, I can't remember who said it, and I'm so sorry, but they mentioned that for the live action, they are like us, waiting for the live action remake of Treasure Planet and of Atlantis. This needs to happen.
Yep.
This needs to freaking happen. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I want.
Casting's already done. You need.
I know, right?
Tom and Zendaya. Everything's good. Right.
Atlantis casts itself.
It does
so easily. It's insane.
Easily.
It's insane.
Randall from Iowa said the Luo song for Timon and
Wow! Wow! All you have to do is get in line. I mean, Nathan Lane forever.
Yes.
Nathan Lane can do whatever he wants. And yes, Alias, Reflection, and God Help the Outcast.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You can't just pick one.
You can't pick one. You can't. It's too much. It's too many. Yeah. It's... Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you, Nancy Drew. No more live action. If they want to redo a movie, make it a remake with the Muppets. I would go for a Muppets Jungle Book any day.
Yep. Heck yes.
I feel like they have a winning combination with A Muppet Christmas Carol, and they have not repeated it, and they should. I want this again. Like, it works way too freaking well to do it that way. And I mean, to a lesser extent, I mean, Muppet Treasure Island, same concept. But I mean, just like, get me a really good actor and then just make everybody else Muppets. Like, I want Muppets Star Wars.
Yeah.
So bad. Right? If you want to, like, if you want to milk your properties, like, give me a Disney Star Wars Muppets mashup.
Like, the marketing alone.
Oh. And that's the thing. And then you get into, like, the dream casting, like, of who would play who. Way too fun. Way too fun. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Thank you, producer sister.
Well, Soki said I frequently sing Zazu's song about coconuts.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, diddly dee, and there they are, all standing in a row. Bum, bum, bum. Oh gosh. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Nancy Drew. Kermit is Luke whining, but I was supposed to go to Toshi Station to pick up some power converters. Why?
Did you see Anita's comment?
No, what? What?
Muppets Rocky Horror.
Oh my gosh, the way I would stand. The way I would stand. Oh my gosh. That would be everything. Everything, yes. That is genius.
Yes, Kyle, Muppets,
Muppets
and the Holy Grail.
This could be a whole thing. Like the whole thing. Oh.
Bring back Eric and John, because they've both done stuff with the Muppets before.
Oh my gosh. Stop. Oh man, sorry, I'm just having like waves of thinking of like Eric Idle talking about the Figment backlash, and then also John Cleese in that scene in The Great Muppet Caper. Being like, it was rather boring yesterday and the day before. And I'm just sitting here going like, ah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think Muppets Life of Brian might be a little too far, or even Meaning of Life might be a bit too far, but Holy Grail. Holy Grail could work.
Yeah.
I want this. I want this. Oh my gosh, can I make a controversial casting choice?
Sorry.
Can Pepe be King Arthur? I'm your king, okay?
He is a King Prawn.
Oh my gosh, I want this so bad. Katie just said there was a Muppet Star Wars in 1980. They did do an episode of Star Wars where Luke and C-3PO and R2-D2 were there. But I mean like a whole, I want like a feature film, full budget, go nuts. That's what I want. That's what I want. Oh, Muppets Princess Bride would be great,
Yes.
Kyle. But so I mean, like this is such a beautiful like opportunity, and I don't know why Disney isn't taking it.
Harry Potter would be tough because they don't have the rights.
Yeah, but that would be fun.
It would be fun. I just don't know how they do it with the rights.
I mean, you know Sam Eagle is going to be Snape.
Oh, yeah. Or, oh no, you could have one other Snape. What's her name? The
What?
teacher.
What?
The teacher in pink.
Oh!
I can't remember her name.
The teacher everyone hates.
Yeah.
Help!
With all the rules.
Oh my gosh!
That sounds like Sam Eagle to me.
Yes, quite possibly. But I want to see like the darkness of that, because I think Count Deadly might be a little too hard.
Yeah.
He could be Voldy, in all honesty. But I'm just saying, like this, I want Muppets collabs.
Yes.
This needs to happen. I mean, the merchandising alone, Disney, this is a gold mine. I don't. And Sam Bake just said at the same time, the gold mine that is Disney sitting on with the Muppets. It's
Umbridge.
ridiculous. Thank you, Soki. Oh my gosh, my brain.
It's on the tip of my tongue, I couldn't remember.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's just, this could happen. It would be beautiful. And it would be actually just a beautiful merging of worlds, too, because technically there is a Muppet in Star Wars.
Yeah.
His name is Yoda.
100%.
So, I mean, it's
Frank.
organic. It's organic.
It literally came from them. It's Frank. Like,
All hail. All hail Frank Oz. Oh my gosh, Nancy Drew, the Muppets Breakfast Club. Like, this could go on forever. And ever. And ever.
Yeah.
And I'd be here for it forever. But Disney never listens to my ideas.
no. Not in the least.
Oh my gosh. It's just ridiculous. Oh my gosh, Muppet Mean Girls with Piggy as the lead. Piggy as Regina George.
Janice has got to be,
Karen. It's my life,
Like,
okay? There's a 30% chance it's already raining. I'm sick.
I'm a mouse.
Duh. Oh my gosh. The way I want to write all of these. Oh. Oh. Henson, hire me. Muppets, hire me. Let me write these scripts. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Muppet Sound of Music would be good too. All right. Well, we've been here for 2 hours. I need to wind down. Thank you guys so much for being here and putting up with my insanity of laughing about Muppets and everything else.
What's your favorite Disney song?
Yes.
When we end, reload the page. Let us know in the comments. What's your favorite Disney song?
Yeah. Or your favorite Muppet. If you don't have a favorite Disney song,
Or what
it's a hard
Muppet
one.
movie collab they should do.
Yes. Something to do with Muppets or Disney.
Yep.
Oh.
This is your assignment.
Alrighty. I'm gonna roll the outro. Thank you so much, everybody. Much love to all of you. I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope to be here on Wednesday. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But I'll keep you guys posted. Much love. Bye, guys.